Okay, so let's continue about Renaissance. So please turn to your textbook page 10 to page 11. So let's use a class activity 1 to let me show you about the difference before and after the Renaissance. On your left hand side is the Middle Ages, okay, or the medieval times. On your right hand side is the Renaissance. So based on the pictures, so let's find out the difference before and after the Renaissance. Okay, how do people in the West interpret about the earth before and after the Renaissance? Okay, what do they think about the world before and after the Renaissance? So before on the left hand side and after on the right hand side. So let's use the true false to find the difference. Okay, so what were the changes of people's belief taking place during the Renaissance as shown in source A? Okay, so they have some changes before and after Renaissance. Okay, so let's use the true false questions to learn about the difference, okay, before and after Renaissance. Okay, what are the changes they have? Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, before the Renaissance, people only interested in religion. Okay, they're only interested in religion. So this is true or false? Look at the picture. Okay, so this is cross represent religion, and the people, they are all looking to the Catholic Church. Okay, this is Pope Gaozong. Okay, represent the Catholics. So at that time, the people only interested about church. Yes, you can see angel. Okay, you can see devil. So it's something about the religion. So this one should be true. Before Renaissance, people began to question church belief. Do they ask question? Do they have question marks? No. Okay, it's false. They ask question after Renaissance. They start to ask question about the church. They don't believe the church, okay, as much as before. Okay, they start to ask question. After Renaissance, people discovered that the world went around the sun. Okay, the earth went around the sun. Okay, so this is yes, this is the sun at the center. Yes, they believe that the earth went around the sun is true. Okay, here. So let's go to the last one. After the Renaissance, people was more eager to learn and study facts. Yes, you can see they are holding lots of paper. They are holding the books. They are studying about the human body. So they are more eager to learn and study facts. It's true. Okay, so this is some changes before and after Renaissance. Okay, so let's write down some important changes in your textbook. The first one is a change in religion. Okay, change in religion. Before Renaissance, so religion dominated, okay, like control, 主宰, the life of people. So people follow and obey what the church taught. They just listen and obey what the church teach them. They won't say no. Okay, they all believe the church. But after Renaissance, people began to question about the church belief. Okay, they still believe the church. Okay, still believe, but they are more likely to ask questions about the church. Okay, they still believe. Remember, still believe. But they would like to ask questions. Okay, ask questions. Okay, they will have their own idea. Okay, they still follow the church, but they will have some idea that they don't believe. Okay, they would like to ask question. And I also tell you there are some new religions form in Europe. Okay, we don't only have Catholics, we also have Protestant. Okay, so this is the new change. Okay, please mark it down. Okay, you can stop this video to mark it down. Okay, please mark it down in your textbook. The second change is the ways of life, how the people live. Okay, in the past, people held that Success, okay, success in the world such as money making. Okay, here is money making was a sin. Sin means guilty or guilt, 一個罪惡 and useless. So people only interested in religion and pray to God. So they don't earn money. When they earn money, they have to pass the money to the church. Okay, so they only interested in religion and pray to God. So they like to do prayer every day. But after Renaissance, interest of mankind and the world grew. Okay, they're interested in people. They are also interested in the world. So people were more interested in art, literature, about human being, as well as science. So you can see what they are doing. They are learning about art, they are learning about literature, and more about human being and about science. Not just about religion. Not just about religion. Okay, so please mark it down in your textbook. Okay, lastly is the interpretation of the universe. Okay, 對宇宙嘅睇法。In the past, people believed that the earth as the center of the universe, okay, is the center. And you can see they also think that the earth is flat. 天圓地方, okay, they think that the world is flat. But after Renaissance, they discovered that the earth went around the sun, and the earth was not the center of the universe. Should be the sun is the center of the universe. Okay, why did they discover? Because they got a telescope. Invented by Galileo. So use the telescope, they can find out the center of the world or the whole universe should be the sun. It's not the world, okay, it's not the earth. The center is the sun. Okay, so this is the last part for the discussion. Please mark it down. Okay, so now let's highlight the whole idea in your textbook, to summarize the idea you learned in Renaissance. So the meaning of Renaissance is called rebirth. Okay, rebirth. Okay. So it means the people get a life again. Okay, if you remember from medieval times, the Middle Age, they are also called the Dark Age. During Dark Age, their life is hard. Okay, but because of Renaissance, they got their life again. So we call it rebirth. So we got a lot of changes in Europe during this period. Okay, rebirth. They got their life again. So people were interested in classical age and ancient Greco-Roman art and learning. So they will start to ask unreasonable ideas, ask questions, and believe. Okay, when they see something is unreasonable, they will ask questions. And they also want to have more freedom. So they start to change in different aspects we have just learned in the past two videos. Change in art, literature, science, medicines, and architecture. Okay, so because of Renaissance, the Europeans start to do the changes in different aspects. Okay, in the following aspects. Okay, so this is the starting point of Renaissance. It first started in Italy and then spread out to other countries. So in the Renaissance times, artists, writers, they like to paint and write about human affairs, no longer solely religion, okay? No longer only religions. They are also about human affairs. And this idea is called humanism. So the human being is the center of all things, okay? We use human as the important things of the world, okay? Who is the most important, as I mentioned in the last video, is human being is the most important. Okay, so this is a very important idea during Renaissance, humanism. And we got some very famous artists and scientists we learned before, okay, like Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. So humanism changed people's thinking too. So they start to study facts and question the church belief. They would like to ask questions, okay? They would like to use scientific ways to solve problems. They don't just follow what the church taught them. So they will use scientific ways to solve problems. So it needs to the change in science, okay? As we mentioned before, okay, science, okay, change in about medicine, okay, because they like to ask questions and about the space, etc. Okay, so these are the famous people during Renaissance period. Okay, now we come to the influence, means the impacts. Okay, about Renaissance. Okay, influence, impact, or yes, mainly impacts. Okay, the changes during Renaissance. Okay, what are the impacts of Renaissance in Europe? The first one is the decline of religion. Decline means drops. Okay, drop. Okay, so means it become less important. How do we know? In the past, okay, in the past, before Renaissance, so all Europeans, they are believe in Catholic Church. But after Renaissance, okay, still, okay, most of them believe in Catholics. But quite a number of them, they change their religions, become Protestants. Okay, Protestant 係基督教。Okay, in the past in Europe, we only mainly got Catholics 天主教。But because of the Renaissance, the people like to ask questions. So some people don't believe about Catholics. Okay, so they want to start their new religions. Is separate from Catholic. Okay, separate from Catholic. It's called the Protestants. 基督教。Okay, 基督教。And we still have some other one, okay, like the Russian Orthodox Church, okay, 俄羅斯嘅東正教啦 ，okay, 希臘嘅東正教啦，伊斯蘭等等。Okay, but the whole Europe in the past, from one Catholic church to two different church, okay, we got Protestants. And even nowadays, we got so many other religions, not only Catholics. Okay, so change the religious belief and the decline of religion. Okay, drop in religion. People did not accept what the Catholic Church told them, and people encouraged the religious tolerance and freedom. That means you can choose what you believe. You don't have to just believe Catholics. Just pick the religions you want to believe. Okay, so we got a new idea. It's called the Protestantism. Okay, 基督教. Okay, they start in the 16th century. Before we only have Catholic, but now we have also another big stream of religion is called Protestantism. Okay, next one is about the rise of scientific thinking. So you have the subject of science. So why we have the subject of science? Because of the Renaissance. So the people have the spirit of questionings. So they like to ask the questions. So it lead to the transformation in human thinking. So people like to ask questions. So they would like to study facts, analyze problems, and using different reasons. So the scientists will advocate the exploration Okay, so the scientists would like to use different ways to learn about the world. Okay, so they advocate the exploration of laws of nature through observation and experiments. Just like what you learn in science, you need to observe, you need to do experiments. So it needs to change in science and medicines. Okay, and the people would like to learn more about human bodies, so they learn more about science. And they also need to another activity is called enlightenment. Okay, this one we'll learn later. Is also very important idea. During the 17th to 18th century, the people start to learn more about the human and human rights. Okay, they like to ask questions. Okay, ask questions. So as a result, they can do some changes later. Okay, so Enlightenment, as just before, okay, 啟蒙運動. The Enlightenment thinkers advocate new ideologies like human rights and freedom. So it leads to the future political development in the West. So they have the new form of government, which we have learned in, we have heard before. Okay, it's called democracy. Okay, democracy, 民主. Okay, so because of Enlightenment, the people demand for democracy. They want freedom. Okay, they want human rights and freedom. Okay, next one is called the Voyages of Discovery. Because the people are interested in about learning the world. Okay, world. So they start to find out the new place in the world. So that's why we have some very famous people travel around the world, travel around Europe to North America. Okay, because they're interested in the world. So we have the Voyages of Discovery. Okay, so this is the conclusion about transformation of the West. Europe has developed better than the other continents because European societies have undergone an explosive transformation. Okay, Europe, they are better. Why? Because they have different changes. So we have learned the first change is in idea. Okay, in this chapter, Renaissance. And then we will go back to the next two more changes. Okay, these two we'll learn. Next one, okay, is by Zoom. Okay, it's called the Industrial Revolution. We are going to learn by your class teacher, a subject teacher in IH, to teach you about how is the change in Industrial Revolution make the Western country better in socio-economic. Okay, socio-economic. And next one we're going to learn is about political transformation. It's about the change in government and the rise of democracy. Okay, so we use this framework to learn why the Europe is better than other continents, because they got the changes in Renaissance, in Industrial Revolution, and in the rise of democracy. Okay, so this is the picture show you in your textbook page 14. Okay, so in the past they are in the old world. Okay, the European country are in the old world, but because of different changes, we learn about Renaissance. Okay, the first one, and also other changes. Okay, Europe, as represented by the ladies, they can become Western supremacy. Okay, they become MDCs, great power, etc. Okay, so they become the modern world. Okay, this is the modern world. How they pass through different steps. Okay, different steps, so they can go to the new world. Okay, so this is what we're going to learn in the first term of IH. Okay, so how they change, okay, from the old world to the modern world. Okay, so this is the end of this chapter about Renaissance. Okay, thank you for your attention.